Alright, welcome back to Boruto Anime Review, episode number 286. This one reviewing the 286th episode of the series, Sasuke's Story, The Ring. Yeah, this episode pretty much stops the rest of this book. Yeah, like the second half of chapter 6 goes through pretty much the entirety of chapters 7 and 8. So we pick a look at last time, where Sasuke has to run back to prison. Now, after the recap, a little bit of recap from last episode, with all of the dinosaurs, aka what they call the dragon beasts, well, we're really dinosaurs, are on the loose. Yeah, Minnow basically takes us to the monster himself. Minnow, if you look at him, he looks like a freaking raptor. Yep, and there's even a version of a brontosaurus who apparently is a meat eater, even though brontosaurs are vegetarians. Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. There's even briefly we see an image of a T-Rex. I'm not kidding about that. We briefly see a T-Rex being used. Dinosaurs, what do you expect, huh? Yeah, so... Yeah, so pretty much basically, like, you have Sasuke with Zeno, and he gets there, of course, he's worried about Sakura, go looking for her. Sakura is buried under Rebel, and then apparently off screen, apparently finds they do explain in a brief flashback toward the end of the episode how he's able to find her, thanks to her ring that he made via the Earth Jutsu. Yep. So that was able to find her. Then you see her basically freeing the rest of the prisoners, and of course dealing with the rest. And of course you have Jin, and of course you have to trap him, but not kill him per se. And then of course you actually have Sasuke deal with the director Zetsu, where he gets killed by his own creations because apparently he misjudged them. Because you get one command and you give him another one, and it overrides the other one. Yeah, that's how they work. And with him dead, but he was not the Jutsu caster, it was Jin. And he says, and during the battle, he also got a message. And Zeno didn't believe this at all, that there was a coup d'etat, where the Prime Minister has been overthrown. Now, in the book, basically, they also mentioned the Queen. In the anime, they just mentioned that the Prime Minister was the host. No mention of the Queen, which is kind of weird. I'm not really sure why they cut that. Yeah, there's bits of dialogue in here that were cut apparently for no reason. My personal guess is that the anime might be possibly planning an actual full adaptation of the Kakashi story, which happened concurrently with this book. I mean, there's nothing says that Para can't do that, but they probably go through the code arc first. So then there's a little info on the actual paper, which is revealed to Jin later, and of course he finds out at first, like, oh, that the reason why he did this is because his girlfriend got killed. There's actually a little information there where he was killed on a mission. In the book, basically, apparently the Prime Minister found another relationship and gave him an ultimatum. It basically was her or be with the army. And he kind of chose her. It's just kind of awkward they changed that. Yes, they changed that in the dialogue for some reason. Though, here's the thing. In the anime, they actually show undoing the jutsu after revealing that but it's revealed that Margo is not dead. See, Margo was given a death certificate, and in the book was death issue. Though they also refer to the reanimation jutsu by its name in the original manga. Which is something Viz Media does that for some reason. I do not know why. I prefer reanimation over the actual translated name. And that's just me, because I'm so used to the anime stuff when it comes to Naruto. Because here's the thing, I watched the anime first before I read the manga for Naruto. Though I was reading the manga while I got to like part way into like episode 15 of the original series, like back in 2017. But I've since basically rewatched the whole series since I completed the manga. Though I did basically get to the end of the manga before I got to the end of the anime, which good job on my part for doing that. Yep. So, in my honest opinion, reanimation is better named than Atherbrew, whatever name the original name was when they translated the source material. I've heard that over. I've heard reanimation of the other name. So he undoes it in the anime. In the book, it's not mentioned if he did. It's implied he may have, which the anime shows him clearly. And he gets bitten by a T-Rex in the shoulder, or at least a small version of T-Rex. And then Sakura tries to. And by the way, it's revealed Margot is in fact alive and well. The whole thing about her being dead was nothing more than a big fat lie. And they mentioned, oh yeah, that the Prime Minister's dictation had been dismantled. That part is from the book, but like I said, the Queen part was completely excised. So, they also found the ultra particles, which they don't really do much with it in the anime. In the book, it's barely mentioned exactly what happened with it. They do show kind of its effects with Naruto later on in the episode, which I'll get to that. So, then they see Sakura try to heal him. Of course, he doesn't want to. And then we cut to something really weird, where, like, it goes black for a bit, and then we see Sakura talking to Ino. You're probably thinking, what the heck just happened? Did the anime just have a jump cut? It kind of did. And of course, she kind of reveals that Sasuke is back on the journey, and they have her basically take out the ring. Of course, probably put it in a drawer someplace, probably keep it nice and safe. But always be together. Interesting. Yes. Now, then we see something quite interesting, though. This basically is almost straight up for the book. Except, here's the thing. Once again, the queen is not mentioned. The prince, who's now become new king, does not mention his sister for some strange reason. Yes, I do not know the reason for this. By the way, this is the first time we actually see him since the start of this very arc. Because here's the thing about the king himself. His only appearance in the light novel is actually in the epilogue, because a lot of this episode in the Kakashi book. And his one scene, actually his two scenes he had in the first episode, that's from the Kakashi book, that's not from the Sasuke book. They only put that there just because both books take place in the same period of time. We do see him put basically flowers on a grave. And then we see Margot, who's there. We see her probably first time in the flesh. She's mentioned a few times in the series. Mentioned, oh yeah, she's dead. And then of course she's there and she's with somebody. And there's going to be Jin, which is interesting, who apparently is going to be atoning for what he did. And they ride off to basically go see the lake. Still no mention the sister. There is also another epilogue with Naruto, making his also first appearance in the arc since the start. Same with Kakashi, where apparently the ultra particles were somehow given to Naruto off screen, and I'm like, what? Did we miss something here? Yes, Parrot was basically skipping around with dialogue for some reason. I'll get some more final thoughts in a minute. So, basically he's doing better. Kakashi's like, oh, I did my own part, helping with a coup d'etat, which that did happen in the Kakashi book. Yes, mentioning something happened in Kakashi book. That's interesting. And that's the episode. This episode is a bit of a mixed bag. I mean, I gotta say that the anime up this episode really did a good job. Did an absolute fantastic job. It's the end of this arc that kind of felt a bit disappointing. Because I kind of feel this though chunks were cut out of the anime. Now, the whole thing with Jin being alive at the end, that actually is from the book, which I do appreciate, keeping the suspense and keeping revealing he's actually alive at the end. That's great. That's perfectly fine. I think that reveal is perfectly fine. It's the whole dialogue about King's Nania's sister, and also dialogue about money that's growing trees. The whole thing about the Archaeology Institute. The archaeology stuff, that's not mentioned here. That stuff was completely excised for reasons. Basically, his whole dialogue is that, like, once he finished building the capital, like, take the Prime Minister back to the capital, and, like build up, and of course, see the lake, and, yeah, it's like the whole scene, which is a little bit longer than the book itself, which, by the way, it's a very good scene in the book. In the anime, it's barely a minute. Yes. You kind of feel as though watching this episode that this arc should have gotten one more episode. Yes. It should have gotten one more episode. Yes, it should have had a sixth episode. So it can squeeze whatever left, basically. You should have had a six-parter. It would have been perfectly fine, but no, we had to do a freaking five-parter. Because Para had to announce, as soon as the arc wraps up, we were going to adapt the Code arc. Except here's the thing about that Code arc. According to information I saw when this info was released, it was actually supposed to start, believe it or not, the very same week this episode was to air. They probably delayed it, so spread this out a little bit more. But in my honest opinion, you should have had one more episode. Yes. I think they should have at least one more episode, or at least make the episode 5 minutes longer instead of keeping its own runtime. Because you kind of watch this episode and you got chunks of info missing. Important info. That's the problem with this arc. I mean, yeah, great job with the story. Yes. Though you could say, oh, maybe they died from the manga. Manga's not, the whole manga is not released here. The book has. I have the book. Yes. Now, Sakura's role from the episode is intact from the book. Most of what I can tell, most of her stuff is pretty much there. Nothing's changed for her or Sasuke. It's just up with Jin. That is stuff basically that kind of irritates any viewer watching the series. It kind of felt as though if you had read the book prior to the release of these episodes, you feel as though that, okay, we're doing a pretty good job here, and you get to the finale like, oh, we decide to cut stuff for no apparent reason. Oh, and by the way, this is only the third light novel they ever adapted for this anime. You think, wait, the third? Yes, because the parent. You remember the parent-child day arc, that 3-part that came before episode 100. This was about, if I remember correctly, because the anime started airing, I believe it was like 2017. I think it was. This was back in 2019. That the book is since released here, and I read it, and it's very similar to the book itself, which I do appreciate the fact they have a lot in the book. The one that came next was Steam Ninja Scrolls. That book is not released yet for some strange reason. I do not know why. As a matter of fact, there's a good number of Naruto books never released here for no reason. I have never heard the reason why Viz Media couldn't get the license to release the stuff here. Maybe they just couldn't afford it or something. Because prior to the release of those 3 previous books for this one, which one was Shikamaru, Parent-Child Day, and the one with Sasuke as well with that one. The last book they ever released was the Sasuke light novel. That was the last one they ever released. Because for some reason, Viz Media is very picky. Exactly. From what I can tell, they're very picky of what they want to license to release here. But I'm glad they released this. And I do know that the other story for this one, the one on the cover has features, get this, Naruto and Orochimaru, which seems quite strange. Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird of a cover. The first cover makes sense, just Kakashi. This one makes sense, Sasuke and Sakura, husband and wife. Though, I should point out, though, in the anime, she never wore a ninja headband. Yeah, I get the fact why the artist basically put down the cover, because that was something she wore for the main series. My guess is that he was just familiar with the verse for the main series, not the one appearing in the anime. Also, here's the thing. When she appeared in the main story, she wore basically her part 1 attire, which I'm not surprised it gets to fit her. And then, of course, when she got back to the village, she basically put on her outfit she was wearing in Boruto, which I don't have a problem with the outfit. Sasuke, on the other hand, seems like he's back to wandering. Yes. But not much really much to say about this arc. I mean, it's good up until get the final episode. And I gotta say this once again, it should have been one more. It should have had one more episode. Yes, it should have been. But now next week we're going to go with the code stuff because next episode is called Claw Marks. Yep. So yes, that's it. Particular review. Next up is the Comic Corner, and I'm gonna call on night after that. So tomorrow, get this: no new anime. The only thing you probably expect tomorrow is going to be Metal Heroes, probably Comic Corner or two, and that's gonna be it. No, seriously, that's gonna be it until freaking Saturday. That's what it's gonna be from Monday. It's gonna be from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. For the next 4 days. That's the only videos probably put up. Probably just Metal Heroes and Comic Corners, because I am out of new anime because I have not officially all caught up. Yep, all caught up to Saturday. So next video will be Comic Corner. Bye.